Good morning, dear students. Welcome to my channel, Patel Science Academy. Dear students, the chapter name in this lecture is a molecular basis of inheritance. As you know, this is your Shahzad Yunus Patel sir, and the topic from this chapter, molecular basis of inheritance, is Hershey and Chase experiment in this lecture. Dear students, Hershey and Chase experiment, it was very interesting because it is concerned with the discovery of the DNA because they have discovered the DNA as a genetic material. Uh, in this lecture, I'll explain all the steps, all the required material, and all the terminologies in the Hershey and Chase experiments with its conclusion diagrammatically and with a better slide. So, dear students, let's get ready to learn about the Hershey and Chase experiments within a few minutes only. So, dear students, as a third number experiment, Hershey and Chase, uh, these two guys worked with the viruses that infect the bacteria. Actually, in 1952, Alfred Hershey and Martha Chase back up the Avery experiments. Avery, McLeod, and McCarty and Griffith, all these guys were failed or they could not convince the 100% biologists at that time for the discovery of the DNA. So, their experiment has been backed up by these two guys, Alfred Hershey and Martha Chase. Dear students, the most important thing in this experiment is the use of the bacteriophage. What is bacteriophage? Bacteriophage, do not confuse with this bacteriophage regarding the bacteria. It is not bacteria, it is the group of the virus that attacks the bacteria or that infect the bacteria. So bacteriophage means the group of the viruses that infect the bacteria by invading in their body. So they have used bacteriophage, and this bacteriophage has a protein coat and the DNA core. So dear students, all these things we'll see here. You can see this is the structure of the bacteriophage. You can see T4 bacteriophage is there. It is having its head, its neck, its body sheath, its tail fiber. You can see here the fiber. So in the head there is a nucleus, and they are having tail fibers too. By this tail fiber they invade into the body of the bacteria. So this is about the bacteriophage, and this bacteriophage has used by the Alfred Hershey and Martha Chase in their experiments. So we'll see the detail of this Hershey and Chase experiment now. Bacteriophage are the viruses that infect the bacteria, as I told you, dear students. So bacteriophage consists of the DNA and the protein. This is very interesting thing regarding the bacteriophage. They do consist of protein and DNA. So we have to know about the discovery of the DNA. So that's why DNA is there, but there was a confusion regarding the protein at that time, whether protein is genetic material or DNA is genetic material. To overcome this confusion, uh, this bacteriophage use was very interesting. And what part of the bacteriophage holds the instruction of for how to make the more viruses? It is DNA. So we'll see here one by one all these Hershey experiment steps. The Hershey Chase experiments. The Hershey Chase experiments, the Alfred Hershey and the Martha Chase studied viruses, non-living particles smaller than the cell that can be infect the living organism, and that is called, as I told you, bacteriophage. So this bacteriophage, a virus that infects the bacteria, is known as a bacteriophage, and bacteriophage are composed of DNA and RNA core and the protein coat. As I am telling you again and again about this bacteriophage. Bacteriophage is a small structure of a virus that can infect the bacteria. So this is the structure of the bacteriophage. It consists of head, as you can see here in the polygonal shape. This consists of neck, as you can see here in the yellow color. It consists of collar sheath, as you can see here, and it consists of base plate, this one, and there are most attracting part in the bacteriophage structure, that is their tail fibers. So in this structure of the bacteriophage, this is most important thing. Inside the head, it consists of DNA. So we'll see how this DNA is in transferred into the body of the bacteria by these experiments. So experiments, actually dear students, Hershey and Chase, as I told you, they work with the virus that infect the bacteria, this bacteriophage, which are composed of DNA and protein. Dear students, these they use radioactive phosphorus 32p, which radioactive phosphorus 32p is phosphorus 32 and sulfur 35. Sulfur is indicated by 35. So these two radioactive phosphorus and radioactive sulfur were used in the experiment of the bacteria of the Hershey and Chase, and this is very important thing because phosphorus is present in the DNA only and sulfur is absent in the DNA, while sulfur is present in the protein only and phosphorus is absent. So here very interesting thing is they use radioactive phosphorus 32p in the medium for some viruses and radioactive sulfur 35s for the some other viruses. So they grew some viruses on the medium that contain the radioactive phosphorus and some other on the medium that contain the radioactive sulfur. Dear student, viruses grown in the presence of the radioactive phosphorus contain radioactive DNA but not radioactive protein, because DNA contain phosphorus but protein do not contain phosphorus. Similarly, viruses that grown on the radioactive sulfur contained radioactive protein but not radioactive DNA, because DNA does not contain sulfur. So it is now clear that DNA contains protein, not sulfur, and protein contains sulfur, not phosphorus. Sorry, DNA contain phosphorus, not sulfur, and protein contain sulfur, not phosphorus. So in the DNA there is phosphorus, not sulfur. In the protein there is sulfur, not phosphorus. So radioactive phages were allowed to infect one bacteria. Which bacteria? E. coli, Escherichia coli, grown on the medium containing the normal phosphorus and normal sulfur. Then as the infection proceeds, now we'll see here one by one with these two bacteriophage here in this slides clearly. So as you can see here in the left side diagram, sulfur labeled protein capsids, means this red color is the sulfur uh, bacteriophage, and this is black color, that is the phosphorus labeled DNA. So you can see here this is protein side bacteriophage and this is DNA side bacteriophage. Right side is a DNA side bacteriophage. So as the infection proceeded, the viral coat were removed with the help of the centrifugation process. Bacteria which were infected by the viruses with the radioactive DNA, means at this right side, were radioactive, means they were shown in the bacteria body, indicating that the DNA was the material, genetic material that passed from the viruses to the body of the bacteria. But the bacteria which were infected by the viruses having the radioactive sulfur, means these sites were not radioactive, means this was not shown in the bacteria body. So this indicates that the protein is not the genetic material that passed in the virus, that didn't enter from the virus into the body of the bacteria. So therefore DNA is a genetic material and that passed from the viruses to the bacteria body. In other words, we can also say sometime after infection, radioactivity for the phosphorus and the sulfur was tested, and only radioactive phosphorus was found inside the bacterial cell, indicating that the DNA is the genetic material, because phosphorus is present only in the DNA, not in the protein, as I told you. And sulfur is present in the protein, phosphorus is absent in the protein. If phosphorus is shown in the bacteria, then it is indicating that DNA is the genetic material, because phosphorus is present only in the DNA body. So this is that experiment. In this experiment, you can see here in the left side, this is the bacteriophage containing sulfur. When it is allowed to infect this bacteriophage, they start infecting the bacteria, E. coli, but after centrifugation there was no sulfur in the bacterial cell. Then about the bacteriophage with the DNA, when it is allowed to infect the bacteria, when the infection proceeded, then they transport their DNA material into this bacteria, and when centrifugation process is done, after centrifugation, when their coat was removed, it was found that after centrifugation phosphorus was detected in the bacterial cell. So this phosphorus, it is coming from only DNA, because DNA contains phosphorus and not sulfur, and protein does not contain phosphorus. That's why it is indicate that this presence of this phosphorus in the bacterial cell indicates that there was a uh, phosphorus in the cell, and this phosphorus comes from the DNA, because DNA contains phosphorus. So this is about the discovery of the Hershey and Chase experiments. So here you can see one more time, protein radioactive sulfur 35 S35 and nucleic acid radioactive P32. These two, phosphorus and sulfur radioactive, were used. It allowed to infect. Then what happened? Supernatant DNA, when it enters and enter into the body of the bacteria, after the centrifugation, this supernatant radioactive when checked, so there was no sulfur, and here this radioactive pellets were containing the phosphorus. So where this phosphorus coming from? This phosphorus has come from the DNA, that is nucleic acid, deoxyribose nucleic acid body. So it is now clear that there was no phosphorus, there was no sulfur in the bacterial cell. So it means, as sulfur is present in the protein, so protein is not the molecular heredity source. So which one is heredity source? The source which consists, which transported this phosphorus, that is nucleic acid, means that is DNA. So DNA, this was the discovery of the DNA as a genetic material. So DNA discovery was 100% success after the experiment of the Hershey and Chase. So this is about the Hershey and Chase experiments. Thank you very much for watching this video. Please do subscribe Patel Science Academy, like, share and comments for my channel and videos, and please do press the bell icon to receive my instant notification of the new video. Thank you very much.